Did you get wrecked by the market today like a lot of people? What happened and how to understand it? Well, we are going to cover that as well as some coming play-to-earn games on Cardano. Yes, I know a coming play-to-earn game on Cardano sounds intriguing already, but I promise you, you will be even more intrigued after I go through the details. Got a Rainmaker wrap. So first, before we get to that, huge pullback in equities, stocks, and gigantic real estate firm called Evergrande looking shaky. And that caused some ripple effects in both China as well as all around the world. There's also some concerns that the U.S. equities, another term for it is stocks. All the financial people call them equities, but we call them stocks. They're the same thing. That perhaps they're a house of cards, and if one falls, they all fall. And I do want to cover that, and I want to cover some news updates as well. Before that, though, I want to cover this crypto game a little bit more in depth. Now, as an investor, why is crypto gaming so interesting to me? Well, essentially, Axie Infinity made me some 1000x gains. What in the world? Yes, 1000x gains. Because gaming is one of the biggest areas where crypto can boom. And probably will have far less regulatory hurdles than other major sectors like DeFi. I also happen to love a great video game, and I'm looking for one that I would actually love to play. So coming soon is this video game on the ADA ecosystem, and it definitely deserves some attention. So, have you heard of a game called Cornucopias, The Island Awaits? And if you haven't, that's okay, because I'm going to tell you all about it. It's the newest play-to-earn game and build-to-earn game, as well as it has a metaverse and is coming to the Cardano ecosystem. So think of a mixture of the games like Farmville, Minecraft, Fable, as well as iPhone mini games and even old school Frogger, meeting a play-to-earn ecosystem that involves play-to-earn like crafting, designing, building, selling, winning, renting, meets yet again an NFT marketplace that also the game allows staking and yield farming and real world business type ideas, as well as universities, charities, all in one place and all driven by the Unreal Engine 5. Right? This game is played in a 3D person view. That means you stand kind of behind the character and above them, and allows the player to explore the island, interact with other players, play mini games, and even make their own businesses. The game may ultimately be playable on PC, mobile, and even smart TVs, but initially probably just on PC. Now, Cornucopia is divided into different zones, such as the Wild West, Farm Life, and the Age of Samurai, and each zone is going to have different activities, games, businesses, and places to explore, learn, and just generally, overall, have fun. The base of the game will be a play-to-earn concept with multiple avenues for the player to earn money, and I'll talk more about that in a second. The center of the island will be a pre-rendered city with buildings which players can own or rent, residential and commercial buildings, e-commerce shops, learning centers, etc. Now outside the city center will be multiple different commercial zones such as farms and ranches which players can own and earn passive income. Farther out are residential zones where players can build their house and gardens. If your residential land is large enough, you could even farm it and sell the crops for income. Characters. Your character will start out with 2 basic characters, and from there you can design your character with different clothing and accessories from the game, or craft your own designs, or buy a blueprint from someone to craft. You are also able to customize how your player looks, your hair, making your character unique to you. You will even be able to wear backpacks, which show off your NFTs, which you may have bought even outside the ecosystem. And one day, games which are compatible with Cornucopias, you will be able to import your character from that game on the island. Your character every day will have energy which is used up doing tasks, playing the games. You will then need to either rest or feed your character to get your energy back up to keep playing. Also, you will be able to own mounts which can be land, air, or water friends, which allow you to get around quicker. Alright, more on the play to earn. The main feature of the game is the play to earn aspect, and it's not just play to earn, it's also build to earn, learn to earn, stake to earn, etc. Pretty much anything you can do, there are options for you to earn. Both the main token in the game or cryptocurrency inside the game. An interesting aspect which seems unique is this learn to earn concept. There will be many games in the game which are learning based educational centers, and players can earn rewards through playing these educational games. You could also decide to build to earn. Now, how this kind of works is that you could design blueprints for, say, axes. Then these are sold to another player who will then craft them using different materials, and depending on the materials they use, they will get a different axe with different strengths and attributes. There will even be options for you to develop to earn by building in-game assets for the team, which, if they're included in the game, you will be able to earn crypto. Inside the game will be the Giro Wallet, which is where all your assets will be stored, such as coins, NFTs, lands, etc. This will allow storage of the Cardano native token for an easy onboarding of fiat into the game. If you're familiar with Gero Wallet, they're another Cardano project that launched like 4 or 5 months ago on Cardstarter. They had tremendous gains for that wallet and their token for the Giro Wallet when they launched. Now, let's talk about the mini games in this. Throughout the game, there are these mini games which players can compete to earn energy, coins, or reward items. These reward items could be new clothing, crafting materials, etc., and you will be able to use them in the game. Players will then earn experience through completion of tasks and games. And once a player reaches a specific experience point total, the player will earn badges or clothing that show off their achievement. The coins players earn can be used for lots of different things. They can be traded for in-game assets such as energy, accessories, blueprints, etc., or taken outside the game or sold on an exchange for fiat or other coins. Okay, so what also is interesting about this is the integration of staking. Staking and yield farming will be available right in the game. You will walk into a bank and deposit your coins, and in return you will earn passive income or NFTs. So the team of the game. Now, the 4 co-founders of the project are all entrepreneurs who have built successful businesses, with many of them being experts on the Cardano ecosystem. Now, the person that stands out the most to me, however, is their lead advisor, and this is Frederick Chesnace. He is the former CEO of Atari Interactive and now the CEO of Atari Blockchain. Can you imagine a better advisor for your game to have than him? Because I can't. Now, what's interesting about him as well is before he was the CEO of Atari, he was the CFO of Atari. What's important about the CFO is because many of the reasons a lot of projects fail is they don't have a great financial person, and they don't use the money that they're raised from the different sales appropriately. So hopefully he gives them a lot of good guidance, because I would love to see this one come together, because I'm very intrigued by this. Now, do I know if this one's going to fail or make it? No. Just like I didn't know for sure that Axie Infinity was going to make it. But I'm going to share with you a secret. One of the reasons I've been able to go from thousands of dollars to millions of dollars in crypto isn't because of just timing. In fact, when I started, the timing was terrible. I started late October 2017. Look at the charts of what that looks like. It looks like, wow, it ran pretty solidly till mid-December, and then it crashed. And then altcoins absolutely crashed early January. And if you didn't take any profits, your portfolio got wrecked. And I was new enough, I didn't understand the cycles of crypto, and I absolutely got wrecked. Because half the people or more were saying that this time it was going to be different, and it was going to keep going up till Bitcoin hit $1 million. And guess what? It didn't. So I got wrecked. My portfolio went from 15,000 to 165,000 to 3,000. So you could say my timing was great. I think my timing was terrible. I came way late in the bull market. If I had understood, though, how to take profits, my timing wouldn't have been all that bad. So I guess the timing would have been good if I had understood how to use it better. Because then, if I'd taken profits on the way up and say had 100,000 to pour into the bear market while everything was down, that would have been much, much better. So I did stick around because I'm stubborn like that, and because I've been investing prior to crypto, and I know that you're always bad before you're good. And so I did stick around. Now, one of the things that's helped me really do much better than the average person over the past 3 years, essentially from the bear market to now, is that I weigh in my mind 2 differing thoughts. take Cornucopias, for example. So I put in there, what are the things that say Cornucopias is going to succeed and go huge? And then I put in my mind, what are the things that say this might fail? And I always keep space for both. Why? Because you never know if it's going to fail. One of the things that says Cornucopias could fail is if there's a nuclear war and all the, nuclear bombs kill us all, well, then the project is probably going to fail, right? So I may weigh that really, really small, but that's in there. What else could happen? Total financial collapse, World War III, even without nuclear weapons, maybe a bunch of EMP devices, and everything goes down. When people are trying to have food, they could care less about video games. So could that kind of thing happen? It could. I weight that very, very small. But I keep in there the things that say something like this could fail versus the things that say it could succeed. And then, as I continue to get more information, I weigh things differently. Now, the reason I'm sharing this idea to keep two concepts in your mind at the same time is because what is the news of the day today? It's red, right? Just like the color of the shirt. And there's lots of things saying that everything could fail. So let me share my screen with you. And real quick, this is the Cornucopias game, and you can check out more at cornucopias.io. And you can watch a cool video here showing how the game is going to look and kind of the graphics behind it. Let's look at things like this. Well, China's Evergrande Group, too big to fail, because this is in the news today, right? And there's lots of red news today. In fact, if we look at the market, big pullback on most of the cryptocurrencies. And it starts to get people scared, right? And that's normal. So how do I keep that in perspective is that I keep these two thoughts in my mind at the same time. What is the likelihood that my thesis that we're going to have a bull run in the coming 3 to 5 months, that this bull run is so massive, but then is followed by a blow off top that goes absolutely parabolic and then crashes down? Well, so that is my current thesis. And now I didn't know about 6 to 9 months ago how this might play out. There were two theses I was playing with, and I'm leaning towards one over the other. And one of the theses was in line with what BitBoy was talking about the other day. Now, it seems like he's had that thesis for about 2 years, and there was a lot of evidence back then to suggest it might play out that way. It hasn't seemed like he's updated his thesis, and he's just run with that. And maybe he doesn't keep these two contrary things in mind, saying which way are things going to play out. Now, he thinks there will be a blow-off top in October, or the top of the market in October, that maybe we've had our blow-off top, and then we're going to crash after that. And it could play out like that. The reason why I don't think it will is because we haven't had a blow-off top yet, which is in the patterns of crypto in almost every market. Usually there is a parabolic run before it then flips around and goes bearish for several years. And so it would be hard to say that our February, March, April run was our parabolic move. And if so, then this year is playing out completely different than before, even though that technology and the adoption has gone way bigger and the network effects are way bigger. If we have our pullback, our massive pullback in October, well, I thought that there might be a chance of that if we had our large parabolic move prior to then. And that part has not played out. I mean, I would not call the correction we've had up to the highs of where February and March were, I wouldn't call that our parabolic move. So it has gone a little bit higher than those marks. Like even Bitcoin went up to 65,000 earlier, right? And we haven't even returned to that. A lot of the altcoins have come back up to their previous highs and exceeded them, but I would not call that the blow-off top that would then be followed by a pullback. So I give the chance of that happening a very small chance. And the thought that this is a lengthening cycle, I've increased what I think about that. I think there's a bigger chance that we have our blow-off top later in February, March, April, or May, somewhere in there. Now, when? I don't know. I have to watch kind of and have my ear to the railroad tracks as I listen to how soon I think the train is going to come. And the closer it gets, the easier it is to guess when it's going to get here. Now, it still seems like September and October are going to play out somewhat slower. And then maybe in November, it might not be till December, things start really picking up and gaining some momentum. And then as they gain momentum, we'll gain even more momentum, because massive gains bring even more massive gains. Because what happens is people outside of crypto finally jump into crypto when they're seeing massive gains happen. And that's why there's usually this blow off top before there's a major correction. And I think that's still coming. What else is in the news? Well, Turkey, their president, who has completely devalued their fiat currency, has decided they're at war with Bitcoin. Why would that be? Why would anybody be so opposed to Bitcoin? Well, when you are a ruler and your main source of power comes from your ability to massively print your dollar, whatever they're called there, Turkish lira maybe, and then that gives you power and influence over others, even though it hurts your citizens tremendously. Your citizens will be crying out for things like Bitcoin, but then that takes away your power. And so what are they going to see as a huge threat? Well, they're going to see Bitcoin as a huge threat. And here you see it playing out. And don't think this will be the only government. My guess is in the next 5 months, many governments wake up to the fact that Bitcoin returns power to their people, which power is a zero-sum game. And so if the power is going to their people, do you think most politicians are going to see that as a positive or a negative? Now, the genie's out of the bottle. The question is, can they put it back? So fairly, he's fairly, I guess let's just say I'm not a huge fan of him. The president of Turkey, I think he abuses his power. Essentially, we will see who's who. Now, many politicians will come out against Bitcoin. They'll use arguments like what you've heard about, oh, Bitcoin's bad for the environment, because they're not going to tell you their real reason. Their real reason that they hate is it takes power away from them and gives it back to us. And that's a threat to them, because it's a threat to their power system. They don't want us to have more power. They want to keep it. So they'll try to win arguments to persuade us, thinking that we're not smart enough to see through their arguments. And they'll say, oh, it's not green friendly and the economy is going to die. And guess what? Or not the economy, we're killing our planet. People are finding ways to make Bitcoin more eco-friendly, as well as other projects will come out. And the change to proof of stake is drastically decreasing the energy requirements for cryptocurrencies. And so technology is fixing itself. The environment isn't going to be destroyed because of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But that's one of the arguments that they'll use. And if it doesn't get more traction, they'll find a different one, because at the end of the day, they want to keep their power, not give it to you. Now, the reason why Bitcoin was invented is because the politicians have shown once again they cannot be trusted with their power, that power. And so we'll see. This fight is still coming. Don't think it's not. The question is, when will it get here? And who's going to win? Will the people win or the politicians win? I don't know the answer to that. We'll see how it plays out. My guess is the people will win. But I'm heavily invested in Bitcoin. Well, not Bitcoin so much as the altcoins myself, cryptocurrency, because I think the people will win. But realize if we're wrong on that, and that everything crashes, say, in 3 or 4 months, and I'm wrong, it will financially wreck me too. And so I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing with my money, because none of this financial advice. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that you're enjoying this channel. And if you're not, would you do me a favor? If you don't find this video at least a 6 out of 10, would you hit the dislike button? If you don't find my video today good, let me know. Not only hit the dislike button, but put in the comments section what sucked about it. Now, I do hear some comments that I don't have different marks in there, and I get it. I don't, because I have a lot going on my day that would take me an extra 30 to 45 minutes to set those up, and so I just don't want to make a commitment I can't keep. Maybe at some point I'll have an employee that will take care of that. The channel's not yet big enough for me to have a person specifically take care of that, though I do have many working with me. In fact, today a lot of this information comes from our amazing analyst, Stardust Ron, who did this. And worked up most of the details on Cornucopias for me, because I knew I liked it and stuff, and I asked him to write up do a deep dive on it. So a lot of what I shared with you today comes from his research, which he did an amazing job. But he is a financial analyst / executive at a major company around the world. I don't know his exact position, but he makes very good money in his real job. And like all of us, he's interested in crypto because he knows there's major money here. So thank you, Stardust Run, for your research on this, as well as I'm bringing on some more team members as it makes sense to make the channel great. Now, we are preparing a few things for you. We want to go to a live stream, probably in the morning, so that hasn't been finalized, as well as some giveaways. Now, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on giveaways because I do have some concerns with them. See, part of the reason I created this channel was I wanted to share with people this different way of thinking so that you can make way above average returns on your investments. Not just crypto, this applies to everything, but crypto is the major thing right now that is world changing. So there's no place I'd rather be. In fact, it's already made life changing wealth for me, and I think these principles can make life changing wealth for you in as far as you would follow them. And this contrary way of thinking about things helps do really, really well over periods of time. Now, is it guaranteed that you're all going to make it? No. In fact, I know some of you won't because we're human beings and I know human behavior. And it's kind of like you can have the answer book right in front of people, right? And some will still fail the test. Why is it? Because we're all human beings. And though we might have the answers, some just aren't hungry for them yet. So some people want somebody to come in and tell them exactly what to buy. That might be construed as financial advice, as well as that robs from you the opportunity to grow yourself. Because here's what I'll share with you about money. Money follows personal growth. And so have you ever wondered why people that win the lottery, they so often go broke and their lives are ruined? Because they got money thrown at them with no personal growth. But if you grow yourself, you will attract money to you in ways that you can't even imagine. So when I started this channel, I wanted to share with you ways of thinking, not only about investments, but other things in life so that you can attract more money into your life. So I have decided with the team we'll probably do some giveaways. Now these giveaways are, we're going to call them 401Js. Now, if you're not from or haven't ever spent time in the US, you might not have heard of what a 401k is, but essentially it's an additional savings vehicle because people realize their pensions might not be around later, and it's a way that you could control your own things. So actually one of our team members came up with this idea of the 401Js, you know, for J Rainn. I know, technically my name's J Murph. I'm going to J Rainn. There's some reasons behind it. I've always had like the gamer tag Rainn, Johnny Rainn specifically, so J Rainn just fits, makes sense. It also makes it easier for you to know what to call me, because then you can either call me J or you can call me Rainn. Just really cut and dry and simple. So the 401Js are going to be some pre-sale investments that I'm going to be making into some pre-sale projects that are coming. Now, if you caught Crypto Banter, he kind of introduced this idea. It was a really great idea. He did a great job with it, and he called them the Banter Bags, and he gave away some Banter Bags. Well, for my system, I'm calling them the 401Js giveaways. And these giveaways are going to be in return for you doing certain things. Because the problem with giveaways, if we wait for our money to come from somebody else as our only avenue, then we actually put our hopes and faith in just receiving this reward rather than learning how to grow ourselves and develop ourselves. And what I've seen in life is that most of the people that have self-created wealth, they're not jerks. They're not terrible, horrible people. Most of them have grown themselves. Now, some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. Most have grown themselves and developed themselves, and the money followed those attributes. Now, I know in this channel we sometimes joke about wife-changing money. Here's the funny thing about wife-changing money, is when you grow yourself, you attract more money. And guess what good women are really attracted to? The same thing that wealth follows, and that's the personal growth. So what's funny is that as you personally grow yourself, guess what? The money follows, as well as wife-changing situations. Why? Now, there will be some women that are just straight up gold diggers, and yes, they're going to chase you for their money. I strongly suggest you avoid those type of women like the plague for long-term relationships. What you're really looking for is a woman that's going to be very much attracted to your personal growth. So I'm a big fan of that. Look, I started out in life socially awkward. Honestly, I didn't have it figured out in high school. I was not even mildly popular. I would put it just below mildly popular. There were some people that knew who I was. And Look, you're always bad before you're good, right? I realized I was pretty bad socially, so I wanted to get better on it. I started reading books on how to be better socially. What I like in life is that you can learn to do anything you want. Well, when I started investing, my first real estate investment was an absolute utter disaster. But I didn't give up. I learned from that mistake and eventually became really, really good and was paid really great money by an investment company to help them decide which assets to buy and which not to buy, as well as negotiate the price on those assets. So, like this song says, the Rainmaker rap that I have at the end, you're bad before you're good, and it's very true in life. It's not just true in crypto, it's true in everything. I do appreciate all of you joining us. We will see you soon. Here's the wrap. Oh, thank you to our sponsors, EtherCards. They have some amazing NFT technology. They've been good enough to sponsor us during this month. If you haven't gone to their website, check out the NFTs that they've made. More importantly, they help NFT projects upgrade with additional capabilities. Now, did you know that there's a Boba Fett NFT, right? Yeah, check out on ether.cards, go to their OG cards and look through their OG cards. It's amazing. Now, it's not for sale. There was just one of one, I believe. They also have some Batman ones in there, but their artwork is amazing. They are doing a giveaway that they're giving away 27 CryptoPunks, which is a big deal. All right, I know a lot of you stuck around for this wrap because this wrap reinforces the principles that we share on this channel. Also, if you haven't liked the video by now, would you do me a huge favor and like the video? And if this is the content you're looking for, subscribe so you can get more of it and hit the all notifications button. Thanks.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, be bad before you're good. Was taught to buy when it was boring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I missed. Cause I'll always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Why when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Time is never better, but time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and a feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy but with knowledge to gain show. Sticking at this wrong cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing and when it's slow will be the target. Naysayers come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. In 2 years time the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go with the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, but time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough. And that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.